Hi everyone, my name is Anita and so for my web application assignment, I will be talking about linked open data. So my application will be using linked open data. So some explanation around how the application works. This application will attract more patrons to the library and minimize cataloging work for librarians through linked open data. Linked open data builds upon standard web technologies such as Hypertext Transfer Protocol and Uniform Resource Identified. But instead of using them to serve web pages for people, it extends them to share information in a way that can be automatically read by computers. This enables data from different sources to be connected and queried. So that's from the front-end technology, but if we're looking at back-end, linked open data allows layering of commonly shared data, which in libraries includes catalogs. This means that librarians won't have to repeatedly create the same data. Catalogers can also add metadata from publishers automatically, which improves accuracy, reduces redundancy, and increases data reliability. So I wanted to give an example of what front-end LinkedIn data would look like. So for example, if someone, let's say, Googles "The Fault in Our Stars." Since I'm in Toronto and I have my location services on, I would be notified that my local Toronto Public Library has this book. As you can see here, it also shows which library in the Toronto Public Library system has it. So we can see that Amesbury Park, for example, has this book in the library. It's in the teen fiction section. You can also see that Agincourt has it on a whole shelf, so that means we can't pick it up. So it will also give suggestions. So if I didn't want to look at any of the Toronto Public Libraries, there's 100 in the system, by the way. But if I didn't want to look at any of the Toronto Public Libraries, I could also go to the Markham Public Libraries or the Vaughan Public Libraries. It will also give suggestions. In this case, it didn't. It usually gives suggestions as well, just for books that are similar if the library doesn't have them. Now the aim of all of this is to increase the local traffic for the library. So environmental analysis. This application will be made for the Guelph Public Library, so that's 6 branches in total. Guelph is a mid-sized city in Ontario with a population of 143,740. So why is it needed? Well, recently there's been a budget cut for the Guelph Public Library, so their budget was reduced by $100,000 because they had a decreased number of users. So to prevent further cuts and to show counselors that the library is still useful and popular, I propose adding a linked open data application to the Guelph Public Library's website. So how will this help? Well, this will ensure that whenever a Guelph resident Googles for a book, DVD, magazine, CD, audiobook, or even a program that the library is offering, they will be notified that the library can provide them with that item. Or if it can't, then they would be given a suggestion for something similar. Since the branches are spread out throughout Guelph, it's very likely that they will find a library close to them. They will also be informed that if this item is not in the closest library, but it's in another library in Guelph, they can just place that item on hold and bring it to the library that's closest to them. So technical overview. So in order to bring the linked open data application to the library, we need to use Xlibris. Xlibris is an API cloud-based platform that uses linked data to merge catalogs and web pages. So basically, in simple terms, you and I can look at a web page and we know what a link is. We know where it's going to take us. But computers can only see the link. They don't see the connection it has to other web pages. Xlibris will take parts, so that's data, of the website and package them in a way that computers can understand. There are a variety of ways to format the data, so that you can use HTML, XML, RDF, etc. Google has so let's try to imagine this. Google has an information map where you can imagine each nodule as a subject and then have with subsubjects. So these subsubjects are linked to each other. Linked data is where the data within websites can traverse via links to other websites. What does this mean? It means that the internet becomes a global information depository where you can ask Google a question and then it can start at one site and then just follow the link to another website to get the answer. By linking the library website using open links, it incorporates data found on the library website to Google. So this application will live in the Guelph Public Library's website. So impact. The goal, as we've mentioned before, the goal is to add linked data to increase traffic to the Guelph Public Libraries and eliminate further budget cuts. Furthermore, layering of commonly shared data, in our case catalogs, will increase efficiency since librarians won't have to repeatedly create the same data. Catalogers can also add metadata from publishers automatically, which improves accuracy, reduces redundancy, and increases data reliability. Staying up to date with technology is how libraries can ensure a bright future. So thank you for listening to my presentation.